Those of you who are here for the first time, or those that we review, you come over here and you state your name, and then you ask a question that pertains to the subject matter and the speaker. So we'll let Randy be the first one.
Thank you, Ron. So there's a commercial and a lot of mailers being sent out about me behind bars. I wanted to ask you, was I ever behind bars?
I think you were booked in.
This is a polygraph that I took, sir.
Okay.
So what happened is, I had a tenant, and Slaughter and I were at a landlord meeting 3 or 4 years ago, and we talked about the fact that when the COVID money ran out, that the tenants were gonna have a hard time. And his advice was, if you have a problem with the tenant, please give us a call. So I had a court order from a judge. Tenant couldn't pay the rent, COVID money ran out. His cousins, maybe his brother pushed me. These guys were retired senior citizens. Very calm. I said, sir, you can't do that. They pushed me again, so I called 911 and asked the officers, I asked them for help. The court order says, by the way, they were supposed to be out on July 1st. This was July 5th. This is now my property, okay? Officers came, I showed them the court order, and they decided that they were gonna give me a ticket for arguing. Now, Jesse is a property guy. He believes in property rights. Mind you, his tenants were on my property for 4 days, supposed to have been gone. Explain that to the officers. All right, now, I hire an attorney because I don't think arguing was the issue here. I was pushed and I wanted him to leave. Now, the officers did remove him from the property, but they gave me a ticket. Now, I was later charged with witness tampering. This has cost me $40,000 for tenants arguing on my property 4 days after they were supposed to leave. And I followed Jesse Slaughter's advice to the T. If you have any problems, call us. I did. To remind you, the tenant was a really nice guy. And when his cousin pushed me, my tenant defended me. Okay? Now, when the officers arrived, they have all these private meetings that I'm not involved with, and they decided we bump chests. So in the polygraph guy picked the questions. Did you bump chests? No, and I passed that. Did I know when my court date was? No. In the polygraph, it even says I went to court asking when my court date was, and they said they didn't know during the time that I had a warrant out for my arrest. Now, not just one attorney, a team of attorneys think that this was done to affect my political future, okay? And it's possible, all right? Now, Jesse Slaughter sent an email out to a whole half page of people. Anyone want to see it, you can pass this around to the press that I was arrested along with my mugshot. Ray Gurkowski, county commissioner, said she's never seen an email from Jesse Slaughter with half a page of people to show up and celebrate the fact that I was arrested. So my attorneys and Ray Gurkowski thinks I was treated differently. Pretty embarrassing for my family and very difficult for me to run for office. Mind you, this all started because my tenant wouldn't leave and I called the police for help. Now, sir, I filed a complaint about you for doing this press release because you didn't do it with anyone else, just me. Do you think that justice was served, and do you think some mistakes were made? And if you do care about the truth, you're gonna have a press conference with a half-page people to explain that maybe some mistakes were made here? What are your thoughts?
No, I feel justice was served in this matter. There was probable cause for your initial charge. There was probable cause for the witness tampering. There's documents that state that you signed, that you knew there were probable cause when you got your play agreement in this matter. Furthermore, I would say this. Ray Gurkowski is not being accurate about that. That is the standard press release document in which I send out all press releases on. Now, it does have county employees on that, because county employees, the commissioner specifically, reach out to me and want to be on it because they want to know about events that are happening. It's going out publicly anyway, and It's not like a special list. So they requested that they're on it. That's why there's some county officials upon that. Furthermore, I'm very consistent in this. For example, when I had to arrest 2 of my employees for partner family member assault, I did a press release, I released their booking photos, and I did a press conference. When you are in a position of authority, in a position of influence over the community, you have to release that information appropriately. I discussed these issues with legal, and we made a plan, and that we decided was appropriate. If you're gonna be transparent, you have to be transparent. And I felt that I was being transparent.
How do you feel about the fact that they were on my property, and this is now my property, and you wrote me a ticket for arguing when they were supposed to leave days earlier? Do you think? And by the way, folks, this cost you thousands of dollars for them to prosecute me, try to prosecute me. When we were in court about the witness tampering, the law says this: I have to contact the witness and convince them to lie for my benefit. My attorney said the witness contacted me, which Jesse read in the press release. The judge made law from the bench to have me arrested because the law says I had to have contacted the witness. Jesse himself read the text, the witness contacted me. Why didn't you contact the witness and say, you're not supposed to contact me? And how in the world could you arrest me for witness tampering when I didn't contact the witness? What's your thoughts there?
So here's my thought to that. I don't know who contacted who first.
Of course you did, you read the text.
But hold on, Randy, I don't remember who contacted who first, okay? But furthermore, it depends on what it is you said in the text. And if I recall, you tampered with the witness and there was probable cause, and you even signed an affidavit saying there was probable cause.
I didn't sign any affidavit, there was probable cause to witness tampering.
Randy, how long are we gonna go around on this?
Well, here's the fact, folks, okay? They changed the law to arrest me. So I filed a complaint with the Judicial Review Board, which they accepted. They accepted. And this is the fact. I did not contact the witness contacted me. When we got into the courtroom, here's what the judge said. The lawyer looked at the judge and said, what's going on? Brothers, the county attorney who works for Racky, said we may have been heavy-handed in our decision, and witnesses didn't even show up. Now, folks, this cost me $40,000, and it's probably going to cost me this race over a ticket because my tenant would not leave on the day they wanted to, and I'm the one that called the police. Now, sir, I'm like 62 years old. I have donated 1,000 hours of my time to past sheriffs that have asked me for assistance and help before Slaughter was sheriff. And this is outrageous, okay? And I asked to talk to you because I had a text on my phone asking when my court date was the day before I was arrested. And in the polygraph, they asked, did you know? Did you have any idea when your court date was? No. And the court never contacted my attorney. Now, how can you explain that the court failed to tell me when my court date was the day before I was arrested? That is on my phone. You didn't read that email. How do you explain this?
I can't speak to what the court does.
Of course.
I can't.
Aren't you concerned that I have a polygraph in front of you and nobody told me when my date was? People think that maybe that was done on purpose. What are your thoughts?
I don't really have any, Randy. I know this. I know that I reviewed the case and the probable cause was there. As to what happens in the court system after that, that's not my decision. And here's the thing, I respect whatever decision the county attorney's office made with your case and what the court made with your case. But there was probable cause in both circumstances. And it was also reviewed by a judge that there was probable cause in both circumstances. That's our role in the executive branch of government. Now, after that, when it goes to the CA's office and it goes to the judicial branch of government and they make their rulings on it, that's their decisions.
All right, how about this? The law says I had to contact the witness. The witness contacted me. How could you arrest me when the law is very clear? I did not contact the witness. The witness contacted me. You
So-
feel comfortable with that?
So what
Cost me $40,000.
you're saying is that it is impossible for you to tamper with a witness if they contact you.
The law says I have to contact the witness. In this case, the witness contacted me. Here's what they wanted to do, folks. They wanted to do work for me. And I said to the witness, there's no way you can do work for me after you falsify testimony to an officer. Okay? You have to recant your statement, and where we can't have a relationship. You have to say, you're sorry, I wasn't honest. I have the right to tell them you can't be on my property or work for me anymore. And I was arrested for that. Now, there's nobody in this room. Let's have a show of hands. How many people think I should have a concern here? How many people think that I was right? I mean, there's real concern here. Now, I have to explain this to people, okay? And I'm the one who called for help. I didn't get help. I got arrested. Anyway, that was no concern with that. You feel comfortable? You got a polygraph? Don't you care about truth?
I do.
Okay.
Very much, Randy.
All right.
I do.